Well, my dear friends on YouTube. Today is a big day because I will tell you the story of the first time that I had sex with a woman. But let's start this out a bit more innocently. I'll tell you about how I came to have my first kiss with a girl. That happened, I think it was 2003 or 2004. I was on a little road trip through Sweden with a very good friend of mine that I also went to school with in England. And I had been basically kind of in love with her for, years at that point, but she didn't know about it. Anyway, we ended up in Stockholm and we were staying in this hostel on a boat. It was pretty cool. And I think we were pretty drunk. And eventually I think I was just like lying on my bed and we were just like, hanging out and chatting as good friends do. And I would have never made a move. Like, I'm way too shy and, I was so deep in the closet still at that point. So she then actually came up to me and kissed me. Just started kissing me and I went with it and I really liked it. But it didn't last for forever. It just lasted, I don't know, maybe for a few seconds, and then it was just a kiss. And I guess for her it was, like many girls just kiss their best friend when they're super drunk. I'm sure many of you straight girls have done that. I also actually believe in fluid sexuality. I don't believe in 100% heterosexuality, nor do I believe in 100% homosexuality or 50-50 bisexuality. I believe sexuality just kind of, it's all over the place. I'm probably like maybe 80% lesbian, and there's still 20% inside of me where I still find men attractive. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. So that was my first kiss. The first time I was having kind of sexual activity with a woman, I wouldn't necessarily call it sex, if you know what I mean. This is gonna be an interesting story to share. So this was 2006 or maybe 2007. I was on a year abroad at university, at college in the United States, in Ohio. It was a very small college town called Bowling Green, south of Detroit, south of Toledo. Anyway, yeah, it was proper college life and we were just getting wasted and drunk all the time. And I was in this club with my friends and we were dancing away, and suddenly this guy comes along and dances with me, and then another guy comes along and dances with me. And again, I was still very much deep in the closet back then, still had my long hair and everything. And I went with it, I was dancing with these two guys being sandwiched, and then suddenly a girl comes in and also kind of starts, flirting with me. And so this all just turns into like this, what. And eventually they ask me, hey, do you wanna, kind of maybe get a hotel room, the four of us? And at that point I was pretty intoxicated, and I said yes. I was like, yep, why not, let's do it. So we walked out of the bar or the club or whatever and found a hotel down the street and checked in to a hotel room with 2 beds. And then, yeah, I guess I had a foursome with these 2 boys and this girl. But I mostly enjoyed just making out with the girl, and she went down on me, and like it was pretty awesome. But she also left really early in the morning, and then I left pretty much right after her and just left those boys in that hotel room, did the walk of shame home. But that was like my first kind of, real sort of sexual contact with a woman. I don't even remember her name. I don't even know what she looks like anymore. All I remember is that it was a foursome in a hotel room and she went down on me, and it was pretty awesome. Then we're fast forwarding a few years. It is now 2009. I'm working as a scuba dive instructor on the Gili Islands in Indonesia. And there were 2 girls and I made out with them, and I kind of fell for one of those girls. She was Italian, the other one was British. The British one was very much straight. The Italian one was pretty much very queer, bisexual. I really kind of fell for that Italian chick, but it didn't really go anywhere. So those were like the 4 experiences that I had before I then had my first real sort of sexual experience with a woman. this happened as follows. I had met this woman in India in the summer of 2009, traveling, and I really fell for her. Anyway, I then ended up visiting her in Australia, in Sydney, where she was living, and ended up visiting her. She didn't really know that I was super into her. And at the time when we met in India, she still had a girlfriend. And when I ended up visiting her in Sydney, I found out that she was now single. And when I first came to visit her, we actually ended up sharing the same bed, just like friends do. But I was kind of hoping for things to develop, but they kind of didn't, and I was super shy and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know how to take the first step sexually or in any way, sort of. I was just completely lost with just having this huge crush on this girl. Anyway, one night we end up going out and we end up getting very drunk, and we come home and we end up making out. She just kind of literally, I was about to go to sleep, she just jumps on me and we ended up having sex. And the next day I was kind of really confused because I enjoyed this so much. For me, it was clear. It's like, once I had that experience with a woman, I was like, this is it. Like, this is all I ever wanted. This is all I ever need. And it all made sense why I never enjoyed having sex with guys, and it just all fell into place. But at the same time, I was just also, it was just really intense for me to just, for all of this to kind of sink in and for me to realize and feel, and I was super overwhelmed with all that was going on. And so I took off and kind of had to spend the next day on my own and coming to terms with the fact that, okay, so I really love having sex with a woman. That's what I want. I think I'm seriously gay and I'm really into this chick, and wow. So yeah, we ended up getting together and she was my first girlfriend, and really I was just massively in love with her. We spent 2.5 beautiful years together. She kind of showed me the ropes of what it means to be a lesbian, and she showed me everything in bed that I needed to know. And yeah, very influential for sure. I mean, of course, I think everybody remembers their first girlfriend or their first boyfriend. And so this is my story, guys. Now you know it all. You are more than welcome to share your experiences with me in the comments. And if you like my video, give me a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe to my channel for sure. And I will see you guys tomorrow in, I believe, the last video of 30 days of vulnerability. Yes. Much love to you guys from California. Bye.